Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to become a Tiger Fairy. This is a shuttle, a Galante shuttle. Oh wait, she's Galante, remember? Okay. They have started a whole new Project Discovery. And it's Concord's Project Discovery. Concord are the police in the game. And so we're going to learn how to do this. Okay. This is a luminosity graph of this star we're far away from. Let's move it here. Your job is far away. Your job is to identify the planet's planetary transit, a point where the planet passes in front of the star from our point of view. When this happens, the luminosity of the star will decrease as a portion of it, the light of its light is blocked. The x-axis shows the measures of days, so these are the days. The y shows the luminosity of the stars. You better not go in there. Showing the ratio between the current luminosity and the average luminosity at each point in time. When finding transits, you can classify the star activity. However, this will not contribute to your accuracy, as the main goal is to find the planets of the star system is known. Then clear consensus will be gathered on the information. If you are unsure whether a pattern is a transit or not, then examining these categories can be helpful. This is use the mini map slider to center the transit. Right there. And mark the transit left click. Since there are only one obvious dimming event in this sample, you should left click on your marker to confirm the transit. Toggle the marker visibility on and off. In my opinion, because I've been doing this so often, I don't think it has much of an effect. But once I figure it out, then I'll tell you guys. The star system is simulated. Give me a minute, I gotta do this. There. Simulated by your markings. Each marker translates to the single planet, and each planet moves in relation to the orbital period you have selected. The planet you just marked can only be spotted once on the graph, so we assume it has a greater orbital period than the span of the graph. Click here to submit your analysis, and it's gonna pass. And the way to recognize this as a transit is the prominent dip of the light curve, and it's U shape or B shape. the flux caused by the transit spans multiple data points in the graph. Now, celestial bodies can orbit around a star very fast. It's not uncommon for a planet to orbit around its host star daily or in the matter of days. You will now be guided on how to mark such transits. Sorry, I was thirsty. Firstly, this curve is from a rotating star with solar spots that causes periodic fluctuations, how do you say that, in the star's brightness. Use the detrending tool to filter out this solar fluctuation. And then you get, it looks more like, pardon me, okay. Click once on the graph, then move your mouse. So let's start right here. Right now it doesn't have a point. When the distances reach over half, the day marker will replicate. Try to hit the highlighted areas in the graph, as well as you can click and lock the markings. Don't worry, you have a chance to fine-tune your markings later. And there you go. Canceling a marking at this stage. At this stage, your marking is still modificationable. You can still make modifications. When marking multiple transits, you will have to test your hypothesis in folded mode. Oh my gosh, you get to do something called folded mode, which is awesome in a way, but it's also hard too, but I'll explain how to fix that too. Which will be explained shortly. If you are unhappy with the current state of your marking, it can be discarded at all times by right-clicking on the graph surface. To proceed with the tutorial, please cancel your markings. No! We did great though. But yeah, you can do this. Okay, and then it says mark the curve again. Yay! By folding the graph on itself based on the orbital period that you have marked, the dips in the overlays are overlaid onto each other. This lets us better compare the regularity of the dips compared to each other. Press the fold button to further refine your selection and confirm your repeated pattern. If it's off a little bit, then that's okay. It is just a little bit, I think. Okay. In folded mode, you will want to align all the transit dips as well as you can. If you get all the dips online, it's highly likely that there is a periodic object blocking the star. We now show how you can operate the folded mode. The x-axis now displays the relative offset from the center measure in days. The length of the x-axis is equal to the orbital period you have selected. Pretty much, I think this is the x, this is the y, it's just showing you where it is. And actually you can tell that I was off by a little bit on each one. It's not that much of a difference, but as you can tell in the dips, this caused a little bit of troubles, but it's not that big of a deal. You can see the marking information here. I honestly don't get this part right here. To edit the approach, simply click the position on the graph and the epoch will be adjusted accordingly. Try this now. So I think this is it. Okay. Ta-da! So I was off. Like I said, I am never perfect. All of the transports, I'm like 30%. My main, I'm like around 50%. And then obviously you can tell your percentage right here. To me, it's like a guessing game as of now, until I can figure it out. This is actually science, and science is awesome. Now to change the orbital period in folded mode, you can either use your mouse wheel. Okay, just confirm. I don't know what it said, okay? But there, now submit your analysis and we will have it perfect. Analysis successful. Now, the light curves had rather even and obvious transits caused by a gas giant planet. We wouldn't know this. We're just analyzing everything in the game. Folding becomes a crucial tool to find the planets with smaller or uneven fingerprints. Interesting. Pretty much just hit finish. Now, okay, here we go. Now that you have the basics, it's time for you to start developing an eye to detecting transits. In the following samples, you will have to find the transits on your own. Be aware, though, that transits are a relatively rare event. And you can, I'm going to tell you now, you can hit this when there isn't one. Hit that. And then I just fold. Did alright. I just didn't get it right in the position. There we go. Looks good. So confirm. And submit. I honestly think I've gotten 100 and not 50. But they always start you at 50, is what I've noticed. Now let's go hit finish. And do the same thing. I normally just do 2. As you can tell, there's looks like a DNA. Nope, we want to pull it this way then. You're almost there. You're about even. There you go. And I may be off by just a hair. But I'm never ever like expecting to be right. See? Oh. Pay attention to patterns that deviate from the norm. Here is a U pattern and is highly indicative of a transit. So that's where we wanted. I got it wrong because I saw that. That's how the curve slopes it changes, and the planet appears and disappears. ED trending. You can be 99% accurate, and yet be wrong. And some people like the DNA better than this. I like this one better. Even though it's like hard for me to figure it out. Because I'm doing more, in my opinion. Yay! Oh. I'm just saying, I always get these wrong. I'm not always right. And like you can tell, I am actually... There's only one. Well, that's one way of doing it. Okay. Okay, this part right here, this is actually a pacifier. And I've found out recently that it's actually a covert ops, which means that I can't use it. And how do you know? How can you tell as you look at this? You can see pacifier, covert ops. Get small ship. I think you can put. My voice is cracking like crazy for no reason. I think you can honestly put that's the money that I got from it. A cloaking device on it. In which, if you don't know what a cloaking device is, it's where you cloak. And I fall for it all the time. Probably because I'm not very cool. Okay. We're gonna go over here to here. And okay. Redeem everything. Redeem everything. And go down here. By the way, I know it's a skin. I don't know what skin, but it's some sort of skin. And if it's Kadari, there's gonna be a little bit of an issue right there. Amar Shuttle. Here's another skin. By the way, they always like make them different. A stabber. I gotta figure out what a stabber is. Oh, it's a Mimitar cruiser. If I remember right, Mimitars were slaves to, I think, the Amar. Yeah, Mimitars were slaves to Amar, and I can't remember like the falling out between Galente and Kadaris, but they have a falling out, and that's funny because Jasmine and Christy have the same last name, so I consider them cousins. And there's a long story I'll tell you guys way later when I'm Omega or something, because it is such an interesting story. You'll see from, I'm gonna try to have it where you can see from both points of views, which meaning I would probably need 2 computers, but that's okay. And everything. Oh, and don't ever fall for this guy. So, like always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and always remember you can do what you set your mind to.